Ring. Here goes nothing. I am riding my bicycle on Toronto Island, in Ward's Island to be specific, and I just want to show you some of the scenery. As I'm showing you some of the scenery, I'll be proposing a philosophical question, sometimes poetic, and today I would like to propose get your opinion on infinity. When I'm thinking about infinity, I'm thinking it's all created in our imagination. Does it actually exist in reality? Take the number of grass in the world, like that's an astronomical number. I don't even know what it is, but billion, trillion, gazillion. It's a finite number. It has a limit. But what do we really know that's infinite? I will propose it's mathematics. You can always get a smaller fraction, always divide a number by 2, that it keeps on getting smaller. So it's in our imagination that infinity exists, because in reality, as far as I know, there's nothing. Let's say space and time is infinite, which is really hard to prove other than mathematics. Then if it is infinite, space and time, that would mean that yes, it's not in our imagination. But I really think that it's a human construct and everything is limited. What do you think? Aside from philosophy, like infinite being some sort of creator, or you find some spiritual essence of it, there's also very comforting fact that it is finite, and everything, at least if it is finite, is much more appreciated as well. Here, let's take a stroll. Hello, hi, to your left. Thank you. Okay. Where am I? Ah, yes. I want to get to the Central Island and at Ward's Island. Trail that will, I just have to follow this. It'll take us to center. Today, I'm chasing a thought that has no end, literally infinity. We speak of it in math, dream of it in stars, fear it in time. But is it real? Or is it the mind illusion of the unreachable? If everything has a limit, then what exactly is infinite? There's the bridge just leads us to another part. However, they kindly request that no dismount your bicycle while on the bridge. So, okay, let's continue the journey. Right or left? I'll take left. What if I told you that infinity is not just a mathematical puzzle, but a question about everything we know and don't know? Picture this. You're standing on the shore of the ocean, looking at the endless horizon. Is that horizon really infinite? Or are we simply seeing a vastness we can't measure? Infinity, it's a concept that has captivated, mystified, and challenged great minds throughout history. But here's the question. Is infinity just something we imagine? A mathematical construction, abstraction in our head? Or could it exist beyond the limits of our imagination? Take something as simple as grain of sand. There's a finite number of grain on Earth, a countable quantity. The same applies to so many things we encounter daily. Yet, we still call infinity a truth of the universe. But why? Let's journey through the thoughts of 5 giants of history who each grappled with the idea of infinity, starting with Johannes Kepler. Johannes Kepler, from 1571 to 1630, he is mostly known for his laws of planetary motion, the 3 planetary laws of motion. Kepler was a brilliant astronomer. He saw the cosmos as vast, but he didn't believe in an infinite universe. He believed the universe were finite, even if the size seemed beyond comprehension. Kepler saw the universe as a clockwork mechanism, brilliant but with a boundary, a limit. His views of infinity was constrained by the tools and knowledge of his time. But was he right? You have to think about it. Now, let's look into the 17th century Rene Descartes, one of my favorite philosophers, and why I fell in love with philosophy in university first year. 17th century, from 1596 to 1650, the father of modern philosophy. He took a different approach. For Descartes, infinity wasn't a mere concept, it was part of the divine. He viewed God as a infinite being, central to human understanding. To him, infinity existed in the mind of the divine, but not in the physical universe. His philosophy led him to wonder, could we ever fully grasp infinity? Or could it always remain beyond human reach? What do you think? Well, let's dive in now into the 18th century. Sir Isaac Newton, 1643 to 1727. As we enter the scientific revolution, Isaac Newton introduced a new vision. His calculus brought infinity into mathematics, using it to describe continuous change, forces acting on objects, time stretching and dividing endlessly. But even though Newton worked with infinity as a mathematical tool, he didn't see the universe itself as infinite. Instead, he believed it was vast, but finite. But here's the kicker. Could our lives, our universe, be governed by infinite forces, even if we can't see them? Space, time, for example. Another philosopher that also comes to mind is Immanuel Kant, 1724 to 1804, I believe. Later, Immanuel Kant offered a revolutionary perspective. In his critique of pure reason, Kant argued that infinity was a concept we could think about, but could never fully understand. For Kant, infinity wasn't something that existed in the physical world, but in the construction of our own minds. It was a lens through which we perceive time and space, but not something we could touch or measure. Could infinity, in fact, only live in our minds? A reflection, our perception, rather than a reality? To be honest, I'm leaning this way. Let's bring a remarkable person into the equation, Albert Einstein. We all have heard of him, right? At least I hope so. Albert Einstein, I believe, 1879 to 1955. So Einstein, his theory of relativity changed everything. Time and space, once thought to be separate and fixed, became interconnected and malleable. Infinity in their own way. Yet Einstein himself was conflicted. He believed that space-time curved around massive objects, suggesting an infinite universe, but he also struggled with the idea of a universe that stretched on forever. Could infinity really be the fabric of our cosmos? Or is it simply an abstraction we created? So, what can we take away from these thinkers, from Kepler's finite cosmos to Einstein's expansive universe? Infinity has challenged human understanding for centuries. Is it a tool for understanding the universe, or is it a real feature of the universe itself? Perhaps most importantly, I leave you with this question. Can something truly infinite ever exist in a finite world? Infinity, is it just a number, or is it something that lives beyond us in a vastness we can never fully grasp? this guy get in front of me. It's a busy day. I went behind the bus because they were even slower. And I'm going to present to you guys the beach. Well, one section of it and part of it. Here you have it, folks. That was a ride from one side of the island to the other.